What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you doing? How are you doing, everyone? I. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? I'm so happy to be back. I'm alive. I'm well. Thank you, Jesus, for good health. I've been feeling really, really sick, but God has been so good. God has been so good. I feel very much better. I feel very much better. I feel very much better. I hope you're doing very, very well. What's up with you? I don't know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're joining from today. So, if you're watching this live broadcast, I said, let me know where you are joining in from, okay? Let me know where you're joining in from. Maybe you're joining from Ghana, you're joining from Zimbabwe, you're joining from South Africa. Where are you joining from? Let us know. Where are you joining in from? Where exactly are you watching from? Right? Where exactly are you watching from? How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? I'm so excited to be here. I'm just laughing because it's been a challenging, week. My Monday, I crashed. Tuesday, I crashed. Wednesday, oh my God, it felt like the world was coming to an end because I was coughing. I had runny nose. There was so much going on for me health wise, and because everybody around you has COVID, you start asking yourself, hey, is this really fever or is this something else? So many thoughts will begin to come to your mind. And the same way, several thoughts kept coming to my mind. I was really asking myself, what is going on here? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling feverish and all of that? But thank God, I feel really good. I feel better. I feel stronger. And I'm so glad to be back here to share with you my thoughts today. Okay, today we're going to be looking at transcripts. Today we are talk about transcripts. We're going to talk about transcripts. We're going to talk about transcripts in our private community. So today we're looking at transcripts, and I'm gonna be sharing specifically on the struggles that a lot of people are having. So many people are struggling with getting their transcript, and then they're like, oh, what do I do to get my transcripts? What exactly do I need to do? And so on today's episode, my focus would be, if you do not have access to your transcript or you are struggling to get your transcript, what can you do? What you can do is what I am going to be focusing on in today's live broadcast. What can you do if you don't have access to your transcript? It's a concern that a lot of people who want to study abroad have. They don't have their transcript, and then they're like, okay, what do I do? How do I get my transcript? Where do I start from? Who do I talk to? Oh, my university will never issue a transcript to individuals. And so that is a major worry, right? And so today, my focus is to look at how we can actually address this concern. How do we address this transcript issue? How do we address this transcript challenge? And that is what I am talking about in the African Global Network for Reduced Inequalities and Social Stigma today. You're having struggle getting your transcript. How do you do? What do you do? What are the strategies you need to employ? The first thing I want to focus on is that I want you to understand is that there is no school out there that offers scholarships or full funding without you presenting your transcripts. So if you are reaching out to some schools abroad or some agents are telling you that they don't need a transcript before you will get admitted, then remember that that is most likely going to be a scam. So don't ever fall for that trap. I'm talking to you, those of us watching on the African Global Network right now or on the YouTube channel or wherever it is you're watching from. Remember, don't fall for that scam that says that we don't need your transcript for you to apply. Don't worry, you don't need a transcript. Don't let anybody make you fall victim of that kind of lie. You need a transcript to apply to schools abroad. You need a transcript. I know that struggle when it comes to getting your transcript out of some Nigerian schools. They would frustrate life out of you. It sometimes it seems like it's an impossible thing to do to get your transcript, because I have been there. And the truth is, especially if you are an old student, maybe you finished 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, listen closely. It might sound like it is so difficult or so impossible, but the reality is there is nothing that is impossible. As long as you believe and your heart is in it, you would get your transcript out. So I'm here to share with you. If you're not on our Facebook group, make sure you're joining right now. And if you are not there, make sure you invite somebody to come and join this session on our Facebook group or on the YouTube channel. So, how do you get your transcripts? If you're an old graduate, how do you get your transcripts if you're an old graduate? Let me talk about the first category of people. The first category of people are those who are from universities where they don't give student copies out. So there are some universities that do not issue student copies. And so for these universities that don't issue student copies, this is what I always tell the scholars in the inner circle in our academy. So for the scholars in our academy, I tell them that if your university will not give you the transcripts, or they will only want you to give to, they would only be willing to release to an international address or to a school abroad, especially now that you have not even gotten a school yet, because you are still just starting or you just actually started. This is what you must do. This is what you must do. Look out for somebody who works in a university, or an uncle who is a lecturer in another university, or an uncle or a family member or somebody who is related to you who has an organization. The thing is, just look for someone who has an organization that you can use, whose office address you can use as the recipients of your transcripts. Does that make sense? I'm sharing other tips on our Facebook group. So if you're watching on this timeline where I'm pointing my finger, make sure you join our Facebook group to catch the other hacks. So, as I was saying, the first thing you need to do is what? Get somebody who knows, who has access to an office to receive your student copy transcript on your behalf. So let me give an instance. If you are in the University of Lagos and they will not release to you, reach out to an uncle or an aunt or someone or a relative of yours who is a staff at the University of Ibadan or maybe another university, okay? And get the person's address, use the person's address as the receiving address for your transcripts, okay? Use the person's address as the receiving address for your transcripts, okay? Use the person's address as the receiving address for your transcript. What was the first thing I shared? If you're watching right now, I want you to type what I just shared in the comment section. I want you to type what I just shared in the comment section. I want you to type what I just shared in the comment section. Get the person's address, use the person's address as the receiving address for your transcript. Okay? Use the person's address as the what? As the receiving address. Let me go on to the next point. The next point is, so that's for a group of people. The next group of people are those whose university are willing to release student copy transcripts, but who would not release without them paying, or who would not release without them, tipping or trying to give some people money. I never tipped anybody to collect my student copy transcripts. And so this is one thing that you need to learn. Humility is something that Africans like. They want you to be crawling on the floor. They want you to be humble. So if you're from a university, or if you happen to be in a situation whereby you are in touch with some schools that will not easily give you your transcripts, like maybe you will have to reach out. Maybe you're in a situation whereby your school has some non-teaching staff that want you to be so humble before they can do anything for you. I tell you, there is nothing stopping you from being humble. Like, try to do. He who pays the piper, he who pays the piper calls the tune, right? In this case, they are not paying you, but they are holding the key to your destiny. That transcript with them is like the key to your destiny. If you need to be humble, at least for 1 minute, even if you are not the humble type, you need to work on that. If you're not the type that is naturally humble, you need to work on your humility. I repeat, you need to work on your humility. Okay, you need to work on your humility. You need to beg. You need to beg. You need to say please. You need to use the magic words. This is something that is really important and that you need to get out. You need to be humble. You need to be humble. You need to beg. You need to be humble, because that's what Africans want. Well, who doesn't like humble people? Like everybody all over the world, there's nobody who would resist a humble person. Even the Bible says that God resists the proud. Okay, God resists the proud. So take note of this fact. You need to be humble. Okay, you need to be humble. You need to be humble. I repeat, you need to be humble. 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 If you're dealing with people in the non-academic system, or in the non-academic people generally, even academic people, even the people who write your recommendation letters, you need to be humble. So I wanted to share those two quick tips with you. I didn't want this to be a long broadcast because we get to do it late in the night, and I wanted this to be so quick. That's why I said, first, for the group of people whose universities will never release transcript to them, I just shared with you a legitimate trick, a legitimate hack. The second hack is for the group of people who schools are willing to give student copies, but they kind of have edit getting around non-academic stuff. You need to be nice. You need to be nice. You can be as nice as, doing being around them, showing concern in the things that they do. Don't just go there just because, yeah, I know you are so busy and you just want to get your transcript and get out. Fine, I know. But see, people like it when you show that you're interested in their lives. I don't know the strategy you're gonna use, but the thing is, try to be intentional. And by being intentional, you want to show that you are interested in knowing what is going on in their lives, in their work life, and in their business life. If you have ideas or strategies or thoughts you might want to share with them, maybe when you go ask for your transcript, pay attention to the things that they talk about, or their own personal concerns. One way or the other, you realize that you have some ideas or some thoughts that you can share with them, and that will be really worth it or useful to them. And I hope that with these few tips today, you will no longer struggle with getting your transcripts. You will get your transcript out, and by the special grace of God, you would begin this journey to a guaranteed scholarship. Most importantly, also remember this that aside from you getting this transcript out, you need to evaluate your transcripts. If you want to learn how to evaluate your transcript, I have a free video on the YouTube channel, right, that you can watch, and go check the video right now. Just go check the different videos. You'll find a video on how to evaluate your transcripts for free. And if, of course, you have your transcript and your concern is, with this transcript right now, am I going to actually get a fully funded scholarship with this? Or is this transcript going to really give me the opportunity that I want, especially because I didn't do well, you didn't do well in some courses? That is not the end of life. And that's one of the things that I share with scholars who are either on my coaching program, who have either bought my book, or who have either signed up for the online course. Whatever it is that wherever it is you are at this on this journey to a guaranteed scholarship, the truth is your transcripts might not be so competitive. There are other things that the universities usually look out for. They look at your recommendation letters, they look at your transcript, your resume, of course. They also look at your Yes, they look at your resume, your recommendation letters, your test scores. They also look at your transcript. And so there are ways to actually shine light on the aspect of your transcript that look really interesting, so that even when the schools have concerns, there are people who they will still give you opportunities on a permission, like on a conditional basis. So there are situations where people have been given conditional admission, and after the first semester, they need on getting in, they need to prove themselves during the first semester, and when they do, they're good, and everybody is fine, and they remain in the program. I really appreciate you for joining. If you just watch this video and you find this really valuable, make sure you share this video right now. Make sure you share, make sure you share, make sure you share. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week on another episode of the Scholarship Guaranteed Live series. Did you find value in this? Make sure you share this video. And if you've not bought my book is still on pre-order. The Scholarship Guaranteed Hack book is still on pre-order. Let me see if I can share. Let me see if I can share my screen. The Scholarship Guaranteed Hack book is still on pre-order. Okay. Make sure you pre-order the book. In this book, I have included all the strategies that you need to apply to schools abroad. You really would need that book. You really would need my hack book. My book it contains all the strategies that you need to apply to schools abroad. Aside from the strategies there in the book, you would also have access to two additional free guides. One is a PDF on how to avoid visa denial, and the second is a PDF on how to pray your way to a guaranteed scholarship, because you cannot remove the importance of prayer in this whole journey to a fully funded scholarship. Okay, you can remove that. Now, next, there's the online course. The online course is made up of 7 modules, and in this online video course, you learn the exact strategies for winning a fully funded scholarship. Okay. And finally, there is a mentorship program. The mentorship program is a one-on-one session and coaching program with me, where I get to be actually really fully involved in your application. Now, take note that a lot of people have asked us over times whether they should buy the book or buy the online course or sign up for the mentorship program. I always say that whatever the option you choose to go for, each of these options will take you to your destination. The only difference is the amount of time that I get to spend, or that I get to spend with you. If you buy the book, I have actually sat down to create the book. The book would work for you. It just means that you're going to have to do things yourself. If you buy my video course, you're going to be learning using the video content, just like this is a video. The online course is in video form. So you're going to be learning the strategies for working everything out yourself. The third option is the mentorship program. It's different because I have to be directly involved. You don't really need to go for the mentorship program if you can't afford it, because the reality is each of these options will give you the same result. And if you try our strategies and they do not work for you, If, of course, you try them and they don't work for you, sorry, you get your money back and we'll get to return our products back to us. So I hope this makes sense to you right now. Thank you so much for joining this broadcast. I'm so glad that you joined, and I'll see you again later. Bye.